All right, it's June 1st, and we are starting anew. And we're talking to James Smith today. I'm Amber Smith, his princess, sweetheart, queen of the world. So James started a YouTube channel and also a Facebook page called ForceFed. So we're going to talk about that today, about what that means and why he started that. And we're just going to share a little bit. So, Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Tell us where the name ForceFed Nutrition came from.
Well, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, although I'm not becoming as huge because I'm improving my health. But I'm a big time Star Wars fan, so I just wanted something about Star Wars. But I also like to provide like motivation. I like collecting stories and that kind of stuff and sharing those things. So I thought I could combine the two using the Star Wars backdrop. I could use the name of the Force, right? The Jedi's Force, and play with that punnage of.
Right, because that's the first thing you think of. Well, that's the first thing I think of because you're a big Star Wars fan. Becoming a smaller Star Wars fan.
Yep. So we use the Force. And it is kind of a lot of nutrition because I do believe that feeding the mind also feeds the brain. So I decided, like I said, to kind of play with the words, and I made ForceFed. And as time went on, I started learning more and kind of educating myself, and I was able to find a common link with a lot of different successful people and what they do, be it in health or entrepreneurship or sports or other endeavors. And I found a common link, and I was able to use the name FORCE as an acronym to kind of break down
what you're all about.
The least common denominator of success.
Yeah. I'm just going to share that page. So this is Jimmy's YouTube channel, ForceFed Nutrition. And he's got lots of videos on here that he's made about force feeding. Because there's also another kind of a hidden meaning to that, right? Like, because we're talking about being force-fed. I think we are force-fed in our society. We're force-fed a lot of bad nutrition advice. I didn't really realize until we started getting healthy how much bombardment there is with advertising just everywhere you go, at the grocery store, driving down the road, walking in anywhere. There's like all this stuff like, buy this, eat that, you'll feel better, this looks good, this is yummy. And I didn't realize how much there is until I was conscientious about it.
And I mean, it's a very easy place to capitalize.
Yeah, because we all have to eat.
Yeah.
Food is life. You can't live without food.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so there's lots of different meanings with the force-fed, and but also the nutrition part, because we're not just talking about nutrition for your physical body, not just what you're eating, but also what you're putting in. Yeah. So it could be what you're listening to. So tell us, that's a good, you were mentioning that you have, you've listened to and read a lot of stuff about successful people and successful businesses, but most of that comes from one place. So tell us about that.
Well,
how are you able to do
being
that?
on the road as a truck driver. Being on the road as a truck driver, I have a lot of time to listen. I can only listen to the radio so much.
Yeah.
So, I can only hear the same songs over and over again. So, by the 10th time you've heard the same 10 songs across 10 different states,
yeah,
you need to find something else to do. So,
I just have to interject here for a second. I just realized this is kind of funny. Your Darth Vader is standing at attention behind you with his lightsaber. He's very visible in your picture. So, nice placement of the camera.
Awesome. Awesome.
So continue. So what do you do?
So I decided that it would be best to make the most of this time and to educate myself. So I've discovered the world of podcasts, where I'm able to learn. We can call it Podcast University, where I'm able to learn from whomever I want. I don't know if you're familiar with the podcast environment, but it's like an audio magazine subscription where you subscribe to what you want for free, and however often their publication comes out, then you're able to pick it up and read it, or in this case listen to it, because it's all audio. Some of it now is becoming more video content, but a lot of it's audio. So it's like customized radio kind of thing, and there's podcasts on pretty much every topic, mostly amateurs. Some of them are entrepreneurs or experts in their field one way or another, and just sharing free content. It's absolutely free. If it wasn't free, it wouldn't be a podcast. It would just be like a webinar or something like that.
Right. But I think that's huge blessing. Like you can get a free education, really, because you've been able to listen to not just entrepreneurs, but also like there's college courses on podcasts, and you've listened to the whole gamut. You're constantly educating yourself, and who has that kind of time to sit and listen to educational material all day? I'm sure that's been a huge life changer for you.
Yeah, I get paid to drive 11 to 14 hours every day.
Right.
So while I'm sitting here, I'm moving a lot of freight, which is the hard work part. But while I'm doing that, I'm sitting here.
Little bump there.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few of those. I'm coming up on Tucson. I'm sure there's going to be a few more bumps.
Tucson?
Yep.
All right. So I'm in Colorado today, as usual, as often.
Magic of the internet.
James is out there in Arizona, driving on the road. So force-fed nutrition really kind of lends itself to the journey that we have had as a couple. We really started out with lots of aspirations and dreams, and life kind of got in the way. I've had a lot of health issues over the years, and they've been exacerbated by stress or other things that have happened in our lives, and doctors have rarely had answers for me. Usually they just put a Band-Aid fix on. The one that I wanted to highlight today is fibromyalgia. I was diagnosed with it. I actually, when I was in college, you know the story, I went to the doctors. I just was in pain all the time. And the doctor told me, basically, she said I was a hypochondriac. There was nothing wrong with me. And so I was like, okay, if I'm a hypochondriac, what do I do about that? Do I need to see a psychologist? And she didn't really give me an answer even to that. And then a couple of years down the road, I just was getting worse. And a doctor finally woo, bless you.
Thanks.
A doctor diagnosed me with fibromyalgia, and I was like, okay, great. What do I do about that? Oh, you take painkillers. Painkillers. You take pain pills. You take painkillers. And I was like, that doesn't really seem like a solution because I'm already taking painkillers. But for me, it was tough. And really what fibromyalgia is an inflammation of the lining of all your muscles. So it's like every muscle in your body just aches, and it's hard to get out of bed, and it's hard to do stuff. And when you exercise, it actually becomes more and more painful as you exercise, because those muscles don't loosen. They just get tighter and tighter. And nobody had answers for me. Well, fast forward many years and many different diagnoses and treatments and diets, and we were really in a bad place financially and physically. My health was really deteriorating. I think Jimmy's was deteriorating too, but he didn't really share the whole truth with me. Yes?
Yep.
And
well, I was blowing up like a balloon.
Well, they kept checking his heart, and he's on a CPAP machine, and because that's a concern when you have a truck driver. You don't want him having a heart attack or dying in their sleep in the middle of the night. And I didn't want that, not just because he's a truck driver. I didn't want that having my husband. But anyway, so both of us were really suffering. But one thing that I found with fibromyalgia is that, I'll be honest, when I went into this, I was thinking, this is great. This program is great. I saw lots of people had been on it, and it worked for them. They lost lots of weight. And I'm going to tell you right now, we don't mention the name of our company because we want you to call us so that we can be your health coaches. But if I give you the name of the company, then you just go research it and you get some random coach. So call me so I can be your coach. Call Jimmy so he can be your coach. Anyway, so I thought, I'll lose weight. And I knew losing weight was going to help some things, right? I for sure was going to feel better at the very least. But I didn't want my diet or what I ate to really be the issue, to be the problem. And so I just went into it thinking, I'm going to get better in some way. I have a visitor, so I'm just going to let her stick her head in. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay, bye. Can you say hi and bye? This is my cute niece, Ella. All right, bye, Ella.
Come on, Ella.
All right, Etsy's taking her. So she's my best friend, by the way. She has been since she was 2 weeks old. Anyway, I didn't want food to be the problem because I didn't want to have to drastically change what I was doing forever. I didn't want to have to really change my lifestyle. But yet I knew I didn't feel good ever. I never felt good. So you want to interject anything there, James?
No, just not only is food the problem for your physical health, but I mean, if you think about it, our bodies are nothing more than a chemical makeup. Scientists have actually found the exact chemical composition of a single thought. Like when you have a thought, there's a certain chemical that's secreted in your brain, and they've been able to isolate and determine what that chemical is.
That's magic.
We're just a big ball of energy.
That's not science. That's magic.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you think about it, those chemicals that control our body, we oftentimes, our thoughts or our brain material or whatever, when we think about what we want to think about, what is that chemical composition of? If we're not feeding our bodies properly, then we're not able to produce the right chemicals to have proper thoughts.
Yeah.
So
which is why some people are complaining about weight loss, but they also are like, I can never get my thoughts straight, and I'm tired all the time, and I'm like, it all goes hand in hand because it's all chemically related.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, even like issues with depression, and with what's that called? Basically, all of your mental disorders,
Yeah.
Even like schizophrenia and Alzheimer's, and even productivity level can be linked to your brain's ability to make those, chemical compositions, and how is it going to perform those if we're not providing it with the right material to
Right.
produce those secretions.
Yeah, you gotta, and that was our challenge. I think we didn't know what was the right, what were we supposed to be putting in, and we didn't know, and what we were putting in wasn't helping. And after having done this, I mean, for a full year, I was on program, very strict, lost 89 pounds, and then I've maintained that weight loss for the last year. And what I've discovered is that it really does matter what I eat. Dang it. But a lot of times the things that I think I want, or that I'm like, oh, I'm going to just splurge and have this, those are the things that make me feel crummy. And those are the things that mess with my, emotional state. Those are the things that bring my fibromyalgia pain back. I will tell you, I mean, I haven't had true fibromyalgia pain for quite a while. The only time that happens is if I eat something that's not really on my program, that I don't really want to have. Does that make sense? I don't want to have it, but I choose to have it sometimes. And then I'm like, why did I do that? Because then I wake up and my joints hurt. My body is sore. And so I have learned that fibromyalgia is greatly affected by what we put in, what we eat. And we have a client right now. She's 72 years old. She's suffered with fibromyalgia for years. She was the same thing. She just used pain meds for years and years. And she, after 1 week on program, she called me and she's like, oh my gosh, I can't remember the last time I didn't have pain. I can't remember it. She's like, this is the first time I haven't had pain in years. And I forgot what it feels like. And she had blood pressure issues, and all of her blood pressure has balanced out. And she's had to actually visit with her doctor often to make sure that the blood pressure stays good, because it gets too low because her body is working the way it's supposed to. So she's actually been able to, level out her blood pressure, not have the pain that she was in for so many years. And she just says, she feels like a new person, and can't believe that it was so much related to what she was eating. So the program that we follow really is just about eating 6 times a day. So it's balancing your glucose and insulin levels, and it's about so fueling often, and then also making sure that you have a balanced diet. And then our goal is not to eat like that forever, but to eat healthy forever. So you restrict in the beginning to lose weight, but then you add everything back in. But the goal is that you've changed your lifestyle, that you're going to now eat more balanced, and have those sometimes instead of all the time. So I wouldn't say it's not always easy. Sometimes it's hard. And there's actually a book and a companion guide. And I think that that's a big part of my mental and physical transformation. Is I had to fix what was going on up here. And like Jimmy said, that happens with food as well as, doing a workbook and reading. You actually change mentally by what you're putting in your mouth, because it gives you the right balance. Uh-oh.
Right.
So James froze there for a minute, but he's back with us. So bottom line is, we have learned a lot about nutrition, and we just want to pass that on. We want to share the knowledge that we've gained, in hopes of helping someone, because we were suffering, we were miserable, and in a lot more ways than one. And in all areas of our life, mentally, physically, financially. And we are healing all of those areas. And I wouldn't say our journey is done. I say we still have ways to go. We still got things we want to work on, still want to improve areas, but we definitely are in a better place, and we can see that life is changing and improving. And last thoughts, James?
Yeah, healthy body, healthy mind.
Yep. So we want to do that with you. We hope that what we share is helpful in some way, and If you're not ready to contact us, but you want to get your nutrition improved, one thing that we recommend is drink 64 ounces of water a day and eat 6 times a day. If you do nothing else, change those 2 things in your life and you'll see an improvement in your health. Yeah, water is life. James has preached that forever. And Addison, whenever Etsy, is hungry or tired or anything, I always say, have you had water? And Addison always says, Etsy, water is life. So he's got it. We always say he's our health coach in training because he hears it all the time, but he believes it and he practices it. It's not something that we make our kids do. We give them the choice, but most of the time they choose healthy, which makes me feel good because I realize that we are passing on some better habits to them than what I thought we were going to give them for the rest of their lives. So life's changed for us and we hope for our future. All right. We're over and out. We're look forward to recording again. Hopefully you get something out of this, and we'd love it if you'd subscribe to our channel, ForceFed Nutrition. Leave comments, message us. Over and out.
Peace.
Bye.